and most of my friends are male.
Say what? Leaders are not no role models.
No me fait riche.
Yeah, hello St. Lucian, welcome to Voice of the People. Today we are looking at why young people resort to violence rather than settle things amicably.
Because you can encourage you. Because let's say when I say l'école, Monday you can even l'école là because you ni coup là, you ni couteau, you ni gens bête. Police ka travail ces jours na dou ça hein. Police la ka fait travail because you can hen ni na way yo. So many day mama you can ni pour prendre précaution. About si mama la fouiller bag yo. Garder pour yo ek ne ba yo ni pour garder pour yo tout because nous tous surtout wes nous ka wese maman la ka fait se ba la nous ka sewe yo nous ka dit c'est nous pas faire ça mais yo ka fait c'est maman vicieuse yo I fait ça I fait issue class mal parler moun.
They have nothing to do, no work to do.
Young children, the more you talk to them is the more they do the same thing. So I don't know how to talk to the young people today because tell them something. They're trying to do you something, you tell them don't do something. That's how it is.
Because they feel, well, right now, they always tell themselves, we big people, older people, our time passed already and it's their time. That's what they always say. Their time. So that's how you'll find. They will always indulge in crime. They don't want to listen. They don't have no regard for the older one. No regards at all. And I think that's a wrong thing. That's a wrong way they're going.
Because right now the young children are followers. They are not independent human beings that want to do something with themselves. They just want to be followers right now. And I believe that we have a lot of young parents that are mothers and fathers that should not be mothers and fathers because they want best friends and not children to bring up today.
Bon, je moi-même pas ça même parler. Puisque c'est ça juste affecté moun jeune moun et que nawe l'âge moi 71 years moi c'est ça qui fait boudon formal même pas ça pour dire ça qui affecté il affecté moi pas ça moi pas ça
One of the reasons why is internet. The games playing, if you watch a lot of the games they're playing on the internet and thing now, it's fighting, it's killing, it's shooting. All right, that's one of the things. The other thing is that the youth groups before, like Boy Scouts and Boys Brigade, and them things fade out. So they have the idle and they have nothing to do. That's why.
And sometimes it start at home, calling the parents, kind of parents they raise with. Sometimes the mother not there, the father not there, and they raise brothers and sisters and they're taking their own way.
I cannot even say, to be honest. I cannot say. There's so many different things, you know. Yeah, and I don't know. The parents have to do their part. We give up on our children too quickly. So that's what I can say for now.
Parce que yo parle ba yo travail.
Le système qui fait ça, système là qui a fait ça.
Le système qui fait ça, ouais.
Ah, il y a les jeunes, ça qui veut dire que les jeunes trouvent quoi yo à la rue et puis yo tuer quoi yo, voilà.
It's through society. It's the society that we live in. That is why the society pushing them forward to do them things.
What kind of music? I mean, you need to change that.
Well, it's based on what they've seen in the environment that there is. It happened in the house, mommy and daddy fighting all the time, cutlass, they seen guns. Mommy is involved with gangsters coming with big guns, so the children no guns, they seen the things. The lyrics that is being sung in the songs that you hear on radio and TV. There's so many different things. Okay? Look at you. I watch you. You're not a violent guy. Okay? So I don't understand why a lot of them want to follow the wrong path. Some of them do not know what is good, what is right. And they rather follow what is wrong instead of following what is right. Okay? I remember I was, as a young boy, I raised in an slurry. I saw people smoking, every day people smoking ganja, and I don't smoke ganja. Okay? I don't drink, and I don't revert to violence. Although some people look at me as being violent, just that I know I will respond in a violent manner if somebody attack me. But people who knows me look at me as being a humble little guy, you know. But these young people, I do not understand. They just prefer to follow what is not right. They prefer what is to follow the bad way. Okay? If you raise in a ghetto, if you raise in underprivileged areas, you are seeing these kind of things around you. Okay?
Honestly, most of the role models they have are within these things. They look up to the people, these gangsters in society, so that's what they have. If the parents at home not teaching them the right morals and things, that's what they'll have to go for. You understand? So that's all I see. When the parents, because to be honest, most of the parents are working. So when they don't have time to take care of them, where are they? On the streets. And they see what the people on the streets are doing, so they follow it. And they think that's what's the best. You know? Unless the parents don't teach them different, they will not know different.
To me, the associates who they put themselves among, that I would say, the friends you keep, if it's the wrong company following, just try and stay positive.
First and foremost, I would say, I always used to tell myself, it starts off with the parents. But listen, it takes a lot of work, parents. Honestly, it does. You know, especially the hotel industry, those who working in the hotel industry, it's a lot. You understand? When you leave in your child in a home all by themselves, with no father figure in there, it's a lot. You understand? How many of us will take our children and sit and pray with them? You don't necessarily need to go to work to remove them out of the ghetto or to tell yourself, look, you walking with a knife and we need to sit down, have meetings with our children. Not to mention, if you see your child in a room, always by themselves, be it a girl or boy, you sit down and question that child. That child isn't eating. Don't take the child to a doctor and say, oh, the doctor will tell you the child is not eating because she's lost of appetite. No, there are a number of things that we need to step in. You understand? We need to tell our children, you know what? That ghetto thing is not paying. Remove from it. Tell yourself you need to be a leader and not a follower. The guns won't take you anywhere. Look, what do you want to see? Being in a cell with all four walls watching you? No, you don't want that. You want to be the next Prime Minister. That's what you have to, instill in the children. Not when a child come on and say, Mommy, that man beat me. Guys, wait a minute, let me find him. No, man, you tell yourself, look, forget it. Let it go. You understand? That's what we need to do. It starts with the parents, and that's now I see why it starts with the parents. You don't need it. Like yesterday, I saw a guy ready to stab somebody, and like, for what? He said sorry. All you have to do is just, got to forget that man. You as a ghetto youth, you tell yourself, got to let it go. You understand? Be the bigger, better person.
There are many challenges facing young people in St. Lucia, and the society that we live in is not the same to the time when you and I grew up. So what we need to evaluate as a society is what has changed in our communities, our families, our churches, and our value systems. And when we think about the myriad of challenges, not just within St. Lucia but outside, how have we collectively worked together to create spaces and opportunities for young people to do better? And if we are honest, we know that there are a lot of inadequacies in our social services, in the responsibility that parents want to now play in the lives of their children, in leaving a lot of responsibility only on schools and police, whereas before we knew it was a community that raised the child. Everyone knows presently who has not done what they should do, but nobody is willing to say, this is my part or my contribution to ensuring that a young person in St. Lucia can grow up developmentally as someone who's an effective citizen, somebody who is educated but also has character and a good spiritual grounding. Now when we've gone away from the foundations of what makes a good citizen, then we begin to have the problems that we have. And a lot of times we like to blame young people on their own, but where are our families, where are our mentors, and how have we boosted up our social services programs to not just rely on police to fix the tail end of a problem that started years and generations ago.
Let me regarder ça c'est maman da café a pile lele nous maman ni problème because adele nous on travail c'est maman la pas ni pièce gardienne là yo sort l'école nous pas ça yo ka faire yo ka assiser les blocs là et nous still pas check about you. Plutôt nous check about you fait bail nous ka di nous ka quitter yo by police. When you go to Bodley, that is not the answer. The answer, anytime you're a parent, you have to stand strong. You have to hold your children. You have to talk to them. You can't say you're dropping them for the police. You should kill la by police. On est pour de vous trouver des pions. C'est pour ça tout ces bails ça a fait.
I have dashing, I have shoe, I have punking, I have everything. And everything I do in St. Lucia, it's a problem for people. And I as a vendor, not now as a vendor. From time I used to work on the field. On Saturdays, I take in my vendor work. I never give up. Now, what I want to tell you, if the young youths want it, what I go through is the famine. Now, if you go into the famine, you have to have the guts. If you don't have the guts and the ability, don't start today and tomorrow you say nothing other. But I'll not tell you too much because what we do, we bring too much technology in St. Lucia so the youths get smarter than what you're thinking about.
I understand and you would see how our young people are turning to crime and violence. The reason primarily among all is this. The criminal world seems to be very lucrative. You can make more money. According to them, live fast, die young. The music industry is blazing with the kind of music that appeals to the soul and more so to the emotion. Sexual perverseness, sexuality is just rampant. So our young people want to go out where they can whine, where they can go and see what's on the wall. Oh, that's the cause. And let me tell you, if it continues so, we are doomed.
Now we'll take a break. We'll be right back. Stay with us. Don't change your dial.
And most of my friends are male. Say what? Leaders are not no role models.
Bienvenue pour voir les peuples là. Et moi à vous de ça comment la jeunesse à présent enterré un crime et tuer comme ça. T'as les monde qui shortage là-bas qu'il y a assez nombre pour femmes. Femme c'est 10 noms là qui était là, nom qui ni 5 femmes, 10 femmes, 12 femmes. Moi même qui bien content, moi ni 12. Et c'est ça mon pour dire. Du bout de crime là, du bout de ça mais qu'on a c'est ouais coûte là. Ça allait pour du bout. Et c'est all I have to say. Si on continue comme ça, man shortage.
Glory be unto the name of the Most High. St. Lucians, I have something to tell you all. You all cannot blame the youth for what they are doing because you all are the same one that influenced them into doing it. That is what you all put on the television every day. Even my little children in the house and grandchildren following the television style. The internet already take over. You all showing them how to commit the crimes and how to escape from the crime. So you all can't blame them for committing crimes. You all have to blame you yourself because you all take out prayer from school.
Là où du matin on pas de bonjour, là du maman on va tout. Et quand on wash mon go tuer pour maintenant. Et pas sorti. Mais après là maman paf mais là pas dit maman rien, et maman pas dire rien non plus. So, bah nous fait. C'est quoi on a fait hier. Après nous prier bon Dieu, prier bon Dieu jour par jour. Ben nous c'est de mail là, et prier bayo.
I don't know what's on the mind. That's what they choose to do. In my day, younger days, you know, we knew that. It's only old men that are going to jail. But nowadays, only young boys killing each other. So I don't know what to say.
You see, God is not in their lives because even some of their parents, God is not in their lives. When we were growing up, we were made to go to church, okay? We might not have wanted to go to church, but we were made to go to church. We were made to sit in that church bench and listen to the word of God. Now, when we grew up, maybe we turned away, but we always resonated, the word of God always resonated with us because we were taught that. It was so, but now the kids don't even have God. They don't even go to church. They don't pray. Even in some of the schools, prayers is not present. And God is a very integral part of our life. We are spirit man. So what do you feed the spirit with? You feed the body with food. You feed the mind with reading or television or whatever. But what do you feed the spirit with? So if your spirit is not being fed, how are you going to act like the godly spirit that we are?
Is the education they're giving the children at school. That is what they have the children so. Because if they was giving them the right education, teaching them about black people, how black people have died and suffered for we. to be right here, you know, and we base up about a God of the Bible, Jesus, waiting for Jesus to come down to solve crime. That won't happen. My ancestors died waiting for that man to solve. He never come and solve. Watch how many young children in Israel, them man bombing and kill, and that man up there. And that man has seen that man they put in a hand. Every day is murder out here. And that man they put in a hand, Gaza. My brother, we have to check on the youths and them and teach the youths the right thing, you know, about our ancestors. And stop teaching them children about them European, them Western doctrine, which them man was criminals, you know. Because remember our ancestors came down on a ship named the SS Jesus of Lubeck, a slave ship, and they're teaching the children about that same Jesus vibe. I don't know nothing about Jesus, you know, because from the time I born is my mother, you know, feeding me, you know. I never know Jesus feed me, so I don't know nothing about Jesus. So who knows about Jesus will talk about Jesus? Because when I used to go to church, all the statues that was white was saint and Jesus, and all those that was black was devil. I even had a scapulet in my neck telling you, bon Dieu d'ouvre, a white man in front of me and a black man at the back of me. So all the time we is devils and the whites is God, is the saints. So that is the corruption now. And when you see man like Pierre Coup, and that man that's talk a lot of nonsense, and you're afraid of the mic, and tell me about Jesus in the sky. Come and give your opinion about how Jesus in the sky. A man in the sky? Huh?
Exactly what the gentleman just said. You understand what I said? Exactly what he just said. That's what I'll say. It's the education system again. What we're teaching the children of today about this man that living somewhere in the sky there, and he give us 10 commandments to live by, and then we break one, will be tormented in hellfire. And which we all know as black people that this thing is wrong. And we continue teaching the children about those things. So that is what that causes all this kind of things today, you know, in our society.
We don't take care of the youth. We take care of a different kind of youth with the YEA whatever. But that youth down in Vieux-Fort, South and the rest of the other trouble areas, they need economic development, they need sports development and social development. You don't have that, they'll backtrack and go to the perpetrators to make money in drugs and guns. Simple as that.
I would say they don't want to go the normal way of life. They like the easy way out. And I also think there are not many avenues available for them to maybe pursue the career that they want. I also think maybe our government is not doing enough. So it's a lot of things. And also they're influenced by other factors, maybe a lot of peer pressure, and you know, they want things a little faster than, so it's just a lot. Again, I think the government need to create opportunities for them. I think that's one way. Maybe education, they too need to educate themselves, because education is one of the way out. Although sometimes you go out to study and you come back and you don't always get a job, but I think education definitely is the way to go.
Yeah, I believe that the crime situation with the young youths is the guidance of the society. Growing up as a youth, you know, we used to have parental guidance, and even though you're not guided at home, you're guided on the streets by the elders. Now the children, they come out into society looking for something. They expect to get the money in their hands, not working hard for it. But I feel the government now needs to put more things in place for the young society, especially the agriculture system. You have now, agriculture has modernized. We have land that just there, abundant, crown lands. All these things are just there. And then we're not even saying, okay, we're going to bring down some kind of factory or bring down some machines to put on farm. The youngsters are not going to take a cutlass and go under the bananas and cut banana and that for you. Right now, they're doing the step program there. The youngsters, by the time you're 11 o'clock, they're done. What they're cutting? 2 little pieces of bush and then they stop. And they're smoking right through. I believe that we need to put more things in place for the young youths to keep them out of that violence, crime thing, right? And even the big guys needs to put themselves in a place where, you know, they support the youth, not giving them the guns, but support them by giving them initiatives, putting projects together, putting other things together to make it better in society.
I think is where they raise up the influence, who that speaking in their lives, all that could affect them. And I truly believe that the parents need to play a role in the life of the children, and also the government have to implement the law. Okay? That's it. Yeah. Sorry? Okay. Put more, I think they need to put more restrictions. Okay? Take the law more serious. Not only just talking, but more actions.
Well, there isn't evidence to show that they gravitate to negative things more necessarily, or I have not seen the evidence. However, let's play the devil's advocate. I think there are several factors, including social pressures. For example, poverty. If we consider the rate of poverty in St. Lucia, children are trapped in homes where their basic needs are not met. Moreover, some of the negative lifestyles seem to reinforce the behavior because they get something from it. So for example, you have a choice between not eating for the day and stealing something from somebody in order to have a meal. What's the choice that you're going to make? So some of the solutions that we can perhaps come up with to remedy some of these problems is to analyze how poverty has a direct relationship with gravitating to negative things. And we also have to consider the individual differences among people. Some people are more prone to engaging in negative lifestyles because of their personalities.
We'll be right back. Good to go.
And most of my friends are male.
Say what?
Leaders are not no role models.
No MFA,
Good evening, St. Lucia. Good morning, good day. Welcome to the Voice of the People. And why is that all the young people tend to resort to crime and violence? Isn't there problem resolutions? Come on, wake up, St. Lucia.
The people are saying that children will always commit crime because the leaders are not no role model to them. Even in House of Assembly, they have in confusion and they cannot solve the confusion they have in the house. So you all are not no role model or example for the youths. Because my children just complain, don't forget I have 15 of them, and they just ask me them same questions. Why the leaders are not role models and example for them?
It's the lack of like the parenting. The parents, when you have young children making children, they cannot even well maintain themselves or their mentality, and then they have to raise up these kids. What do we do? And again, with the father figure absent from the family, that's it.
C'est moun qui a kaila kon di papa ek maman pa ka unity. Lo ni kay papa ek maman toujours ka goumen. Yo violent, yo ka jiwe, yo ka di mosa. Si maman sa pa ka aller avec pièce bon godly conduct. Now you can péché ces maman ça aller l'église because you can montrer yo ça yo ka faire aller l'église pas ni pièce sens because ou ka aller l'église ou ka faire c'est bail ça maman la ka ouais ça pas ka faire sens pour aller l'église so qui ça ka faire so nous supposés vivons la vie qui ka plaît bon Dieu pour ça faire maman nous ouais c'est ça qui la vie a mais si nous voulons quoi quitter maman la conduit quoi yo faire ça yo voulez et que maman est venu yo dit en vieux conversation eh ben yo non ba yo prend qui passe ça yo nous pas ka jamais questionner yo les secret pour te vivre so maman ça pas respecter au demain so le pas ka respecter ou ka ouais dat qui là où il veut dehors la maman là ni pour dispose ça yo prend en caille là ça yo prend en caille là pas bon so yo ka poison l'autre maman qui en même qualité bail c'est que c'est ça comme ça crime ka commencer crime pas commencer dehors crime ka commencer en dans caille là les maman yo pas ni bon messe il passe à porter bon messe en dehors.
Well makai blame adan nous maman nous ka garder pour la terre mais la terre pas rien pour faire nous pas garder pour ici nous garder pour bon Dieu. Parce que si nous aimons Ishno, nous aimons bon Dieu. Mais si nous pas aimons bon Dieu, nous pas aimons nous maman la violence. Because là où tu parles actuellement about bon Dieu, la ni majorité au monde qui pa vle tan nou. Mais moi ça dou le problème moi. Aller bon l'hôtel like bon Dieu connaît problème moi. Il ka ba oui mais moi commandé Adam maman. Mettez chair yo, mettez tout bagay yo bon Dieu because tant ka approcher. Ma ka preach, c'est pas preach ma ka preach, mais ma ka di yo tant ka approcher. Il c'est pas plus meilleur ka vinn meilleur. Yo ka wè ka vinn plus coûte. Yo ka wè bagay yo pas jamais wè. Bagay yo pas jamais wè maman ka goumek maman ka bagay ka fait comme ça ou comprendre ou yo ça un bagay qui ka vinn, un bagay qui là. Mon Satan plus veut advance passer bon Dieu. Entend? Il veut plus advance mais yo dit many are called, few are chosen. Mais nous maman nous pas want pour Dieu ba ish non. Si nous pour Dieu ba ish non. Mais c'est pas nous pas righteous. Nous pièce pas fait bon Dieu yon qui pas fait. Mais nous si nous mettez ensemble really pour Dieu give la terre bagay la terre nous aime ba la terre trop. Ba la terre ka kenezie nous. And forget about it's true nous ni pour manger mais nous ka chebe trop. Nous ka chebe trop embrace it trop. Parce que maman il a nous fait maman il a innocent. Nous pas vle feel pain. Si ma do qu'il est, une 3 l'année moi bay bon Dieu la vie moi. 3h 4h bon matin à lever tous les bons matins moi bon l'hôtel là. Et que le money en peine, à marcher kon là, le moi vais bon l'hôtel là because money foi moi bon Dieu. Maman il a nous pas vle faire, nous pas vle feel pain non, nous vle shortcut. Shortcut là ka kene nous. Maman il a nous ka parler about maman perfect. Ça ouais nga dire c'est pas perfect, moi perfect. Nous tout ka feel, nous tout ka ve, de là nous ka jeune bagay pour faire nous fâcher. Mais nous pas qu'à fâcher pour nous fâcher. Mais maman il a an bay bon Dieu la vie nous. An la Dieu bien la terre. Nous ni pour nous besoin l'argent. Nous besoin l'argent, nous besoin belle caille, nous besoin mais pas quitter Satan point nous pour bien la terre pour nous forget about maman. Parce que bagay la qui ka fait là moi même pas ish moi même ni ish tout. De laisser maman m'en fait bay moi même ka pleurer. Mais ça nga fait nga couille bord l'hôtel là, nga couille bay bon Dieu pour bon Dieu demander force, nga demander force quoi il pense pour voir si bon Dieu ça aide moi. Maman nous ramène de maman. C'est pas ou fait, moi pas ou fait. C'est pas bon passer pièce maman. Mais moi ça dit yo ça bon Dieu qu'a fait maman qui ça il fait maman because nga feel pain na. Nga point il mon fait, m'a pas capoter bay pasta, m'a capoter bay pièce on. Il ka montrer nous ça me fait. Mais nga men nei bay bon Dieu, et bon Dieu ka maman ti solution. Et c'est ça nga demander toute maman si nous ça fait ça kay plus meilleur pour nous.
I think that question is a very deep question. People tend to answer that question very superficially. They look at today and then they respond as to what's going on today. But it's a very historical reason for that, which some people would likely tend to dismiss. For my part, it goes back to our history as being enslaved, where violence was being inflicted on us consistently. Now, like I said, some people may tend to delink it, but it's very real. And so, what also is an issue is that males in particular have been what I call almost ostracized by society. No history is being taught at schools, so we don't learn our real, true history. So that keeps us adrift, particularly as men, but as a people on the whole. So for me, for example, as a Rasta man, I know my history. I'm a proud person. I will not inflict violence on my people or anybody else for that matter. Because for me now, given the violence that has been inflicted on us over so many years, it's love. Love my women, meaning the females. Don't sing in any derogatory way against them. So that's my consciousness. Now, I didn't learn that in school. I learned that as a Rastaman doing my own history. And if you listen to Bob Marley, for example, what did he say in one of his songs? They are building churches and universities to deceive the people continually. And that's a fact from where we stand as Rasta people. So back to your question, it is because, one, the punishment and the violence that was inflicted on us for hundreds of years consistently. Two, the fact that we are not being taught our history, who we really are, because we are very ancient people. We are the original people. Even in the Bible, biblically, in Genesis, it tells you that. Anthropologically, it tells you that. Archaeologically, it tells you that. But we don't know that. I don't even know that history is being taught at tertiary level, at our tertiary level education institution. So that is critical. More than that, in addition to that, you have where, for example, in ancient times when I grew up, my mother was there with me. As times develop and so-called development, what has happened is that women are now part of the workforce. So who oversees the children? The television. And now with the social media, that's what's going on. So I really think for us to get those people back on track, young men in particular, you really have to go to history in the schools from preschools, a new curriculum as a people, because our history was written by other people for us. And that can't be right. We need to write our history, rewrite our history. And finally, I'd like to say, for example, there are many ways that one can tackle this thing. One of them, which I have spoken about to some extent before, is the whole issue of the youth economy. My take on the youth economy was that it should have targeted young males in particular. You target everybody, yes, but you make a special, a considered effort to target struggling young males. You go all out of the way to ensure that they're going to bring them into that youth economy. There's another thing that can take them away as well, sports. Sports is supposed to be a major avenue. Now I understand that they're trying to bring semi-professional football in St. Lucia, and that's going to help. No doubt about that. When semi-professional soccer comes into St. Lucia, it's going to help. Because a lot of young men will channel their energies into sports and for pay. You know, so that is going to help as well. So it's a combination of history of our schools, it's a combination of sports, it's a combination of bringing them into the economy in one way or the other. If you don't do that, if you don't make a special, concerted effort to go and try to reach those people. Now, basically, you will never ever reach all, right? Whether it's 20% or 40 or 40%, we don't know. But the effort must be made. The idea of more police and more vehicles for the police, that will not solve the problem. Our history is that we have always more vehicles for the police, more police officers every year, and the situation gets worse. So we know that's madness, because if you're trying the same thing all the time, getting the same results, I mean, that's madness. So we need to try to think differently. And the difference is sports, history at our schools, that's for sure. And a concerted effort to bring these people together. Because there are lots of communities where those males in particular are just out there, nothing to do, right? And then what they're going to be doing is mischief. And we know it because we experience it as we speak. And I don't think the situation is far-fetched. The idea of bringing police officers or from overseas or bringing this, we have tried it before. That hasn't worked, and it will not work. And I think you need to collate ideas, bring in the Rastafarian community. Let us give some ideas. Let us try to reach the youth. But unless a combination of these things of which I have spoken do not happen, we will continue to see this unfortunate violence, particularly, unfortunately, among our young men.
Until next time, St. Lucia.